I'm on the internet and I typed in Balenciaga fashion show right here. So I saw somebody had a Pegasus already.
Mm-hmm.
They posted on Instagram.
Right.
So I screamed, this our pass right here, they wait for it. They said, let them go. I'm like, okay, we got past the first checkpoint.
Wow.
There was another checkpoint. So at that checkpoint, we saw all the models and stuff getting their hair and makeup done.
Yeah.
I said, we just got to blend in, just keep walking. So the driver, I said, look, you're going to be our security guard. You're going to act like we famous and we got to get in here.
Wow.
So we got in there, we walking through. I tell everybody, we made it. So we go through there. First person we see, Naomi Campbell. I got my phone. What? Hey, Naomi. Remind you, no credentials.
No credentials at all.
Welcome to 80 or 80,000. I'm your host, Moses Newsom.
And I'm your host, Big Steph Stefano Lewis in the building.
Are you living for 80 years? Or do you want your legacy and your impact to take you well beyond 80,000 years?
Okay.
Let's find out. Our guest today is a dedicated public servant in the community of Newport News, Virginia. He currently serves as the councilman of the city of Newport News South District 3. He's also served as a member of the Newport News School Board representing the South District.
Let him know.
He's a proud founder of What's Next, an initiative focusing on community stability and success through opportunities and career growth. He remains active in his community and around the globe. He's a fashion icon. He's a world traveler. He's a social media guru, hairstylist that's featured on Love and Hip Hop New York and Atlanta, Fashion Week, Basketball Wives, VH1, just to name a few. Only one man can connect the business world to the entertainment world. Let's give a warm welcome for my man from the Newport News South District City Councilman, JohnEley.
Yeah. I ain't never had no introduction like that.
Hey, man. Hey.
You the best ever do it.
Hey, I try to do what I can do.
Yeah, me feeling good. Like, okay, is that me? Who he's really talking about?
I be calling him what's his name on the radio show? What's the host on the Steve Harvey show?
He got Steve Harvey beat.
Yeah, he got a better introduction to Steve Harvey, man.
Yes.
But yeah, man, John, we appreciate you being in the building. I want to show a few pictures of John really quick. I got from when he was a little bit younger. I'm saying I don't know if we can focus in on this, but John, take a look at this. This is me and you.
He's fat shaming. I done gained some weight. Man, he want to show pictures of me when I was skinny. He ain't
Hey, look, no gray hair. He had a bunch of hair. You see that? You see that right there?
See,
boy?
He want to talk about my hair, show pictures when I was skinny. Hair.
But
Stefano ain't right.
But I've known John for over 20 years, man. He is an icon, not only in our area, but across the country.
I appreciate you.
How you feeling, John?
I feel good. I feel excited to be here with these two guys. I know Moses, you know, grew up when I was skinny. But it feels good to be on this podcast to talk about all the great things that's going on, not just in Newport News, but things that we're working on, projects across the globe. So it's just excited to be here today and just to talk about all the positive things that's going on.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's so dope. So let's start off with our first question. Let's get it started. So I've known you over 20 years, as I said, and I'm from being a celebrity hairstylist to owning many successful companies, restaurants, things of that sort. And now, officially, Newport News City Councilman. How do you balance it all, John?
Well, I only able to balance things when I have a lot of stuff going on. Wow. When I just have one thing going on, that drives me crazy. So having multiple things, doing multiple things, that's what keeps me busy and that keeps me going. So I enjoy doing it. I always thank God, wake up in the morning, say my prayers, tell him to give me strength to multitask.
Come on, talking, John.
To multitask to different things and just try to keep the community and the people you serve proud and happy of what you're doing. So it's really hard. It takes a lot of hard work.
Yes, sir.
And it's just not me. It's just having a strong team. You know, My assistant is my cousin. He's really the councilman. I'm just the one to say hi and bow, but just having a strong team to answer emails, phone calls.
Talking about JohnEley, right?
Yes.
Shout out to JohnEley.
Shout out.
Text messages, it's busy. So trying to balance all that, sometimes it can get a little hard, but when God gives you an assignment, he doesn't put too much on you that you can't handle.
Why say that again, John?
When God gives you an assignment, he don't put too much on you that you can't handle.
That's true.
Wow.
That's true.
Wow.
So
Wow.
let me ask you this, John. You know, you got a lot going on. Like you said, you do better when you have more.
Yes.
You know, growing up as a kid right here in Newport News, did you see all this coming?
I did not see all this coming, but I was always a busy child. You know, my mom kept me very active. She was a single mom, but I had great family structure.
Yeah.
Our whole family staying in the same block. I grew up living with my grandparents. Then I was running around the house too much. So granddaddy and my mom bought the house directly across the street.
Not directly.
Directly across the street. So my grandparents stayed right here. Me and my mom moved directly across the street. My little brother.
Yeah.
Her sister stayed across the street from us.
Right.
So it's kind of like the whole family's like in one little block. So then my brother bought a house 5 years ago around the block.
Around the block.
Around the block. So
Keep it in the family.
keep it in the family. We're a tight family. Everybody got a key to everyone's home.
Yeah.
There you go.
And it's just, just moving forward.
Wow.
That's
Big,
beautiful.
man. That's big. So take us back in the days where you began to build your name and reputation as a celebrity stylist to owning your own business.
Well, becoming a celebrity stylist wasn't something that I planned on doing.
Okay.
I was in Atlanta visiting one of my friends, Taria, and she did videography, and she had like a little podcast. This was like 17 years ago when podcast
Really?
wasn't really booming. She would go to different sets and she would interview celebrities and things of that nature. So I was just there with her chilling.
Yeah.
Wow.
They had hairstylists. We was on set for Sean Paul video.
Oh, okay.
So the head hairstylist equipment tools went out. Guy named K-Rock. So I said, I got flat irons and curlers in my car. I'll help out. He said, well, I appreciate you, but he don't know my work. He don't know from kind of pain. But what I did know is he needed my cheap flat irons.
Yeah.
So I ended up helping out. He said, oh, you good too, young guy. So I ended up helping out, and the rest was history.
Wow.
Started doing that, meeting people. Then my other friend in New York, his name was Q. At that time, he was the hairstylist for Kamora Simmons.
Wow.
So Q had did Kamora Simmons. He was done Beyonce. Q was the guy in New York. So it's kind of like, okay, I can do this,
Right.
Being a celebrity hairstylist, it was only 3 basic styles you had to do. Curl, straight, a ponytail.
Right.
It ain't too much to that.
It ain't go too much.
Right.
So I'm like, I could do this. It was more about just having a personality and having people like you. So I was very likable. I got along. And it wasn't about the money for me. It was about, because I remind you, like those first 5 or 7 gigs, it wasn't no pay. But my mind was,
it was no pay.
No pay.
Wow.
I just wanted the opportunity. And I knew that by me getting into these rooms that I ordinarily couldn't get in, I could network. I said, if I get in this room, I could go do anything.
Okay.
Right.
Wow.
So people put me in up rooms that I couldn't get in. And once I got in those rooms, the sky was the limit. Q was in New York and he had a job. He said, I need you to go do, at that time, no Diddy. At that time, Puff Diddy had a TV show, Want to Work for Diddy.
Okay.
So one of the judges or one of the staff members needed their hair done. So I ended up curling her hair on set. So that made me get into working with that company to get more projects through Q. So it was just sky's the limit. It's a small world. I don't do as much as I used to do then, but I still kind of coordinate and talk to a lot of those people, friends in the industry.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's
What
dope.
do you think, being in that industry, you've got to have your own lane. What do you think, was there anything that separated you in terms of other stylists? Was it more your personality, how you engage with folks, or was it your talent, or a little bit of both?
I think that any room is all about your personality.
Okay.
There's a lot of people who don't have any talent and it's at the top of the level. But if you have a good personality, you're not a complainer, you get along well with others, you are solution driven, because you're not going to hear me too much complaining. If I have a complaint, I'm going to come with you with the solution to figure out how we can make this better.
Right.
But if, being on set, sometimes you might be on set for 26 hours. You're not going to complain.
Yeah.
You're just going to sit there, have your walkie-talkie, your ear, and just wait till they say, hair to set.
Right.
And just do the job and do it the best you can every time.
Wow.
So I think personality gets you where you're at. Yes, I am talented. That does play a role, but I would have to say anything in life, whether it's politics, whether it's throwing a party, whether it's doing hair is all about your personality.
Yeah.
And if people like you, you can get anything you want out of someone if they buy into you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what, it's funny because you had to really quickly move in that situation. You were hit with some unexpected things in your life. How did your business acumen play a part in this? Were you prepared from a business standpoint for what you were about to encounter, or that's something you had to kind of grow into and learn more about?
I think each step of my life has built on stepping stones to get me where I'm at today. Even with my earlier days at MCI, where I was learning how to sell and talk with customers, and when I worked at West, or even when I worked at Food Line as a sweeper, or Busch Gardens as a sweeper, it's just different things in my life just built. You take something away from every situation and learn. How can you learn from that situation? How can you build in that situation? How can that situation make you a better person?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
So go ahead, Simone.
No, go ahead, Moses.
So when you think about the evolution of fashion, it's constantly changing, right? You seem to never miss a step when it comes to fashion. Every time I look at your line, you stepping on your styling profile. If it ain't Balenciaga, it's Fendi. Tell me, what is it that really sets you apart in fashion? How do you keep up with the ever-changing fashion industry?
Well, I have rich friends who like to take fancy trips across the country. And once those rich friends say, John, I got you a first-class ticket to Paris Fashion Week or Milan Fashion Week, you see the trends is 2 and 3 years ahead of time.
Ooh, wow.
Talk about
then
that.
when their rich boyfriends say, John, do you want to go shopping? And there's no limit, you turn the store down.
So talk, what was your most memorable moment when you first experienced that situation when you got in, maybe Bergdorf Goodman? Tell me about your most memorable moment.
I mean, Fashion Week is just amazing. It's just something that one would have to experience.
Yeah.
And the first fashion show that I went to was a Balenciaga fashion show.
Ooh, wow. Wow.
Let me tell you about that. So we didn't have no tickets.
Talk about it.
No passes.
Talk about it.
No credentials. No nothing.
No nothing.
Bars.
So but we had a driver.
Okay.
So I told the driver, say, look, we famous. You just keep driving. We in Paris. We look good. We style and profile. We getting in this venue. So I'm on the internet and I typed in Balenciaga fashion show right here. So I saw somebody had a pass already. They posted on Instagram.
Right.
So I screamed, this our pass right here. They wait for it. They said, let them go. Let them go. I'm like, okay. We got past the first checkpoint.
Wow.
It was another checkpoint. So at that checkpoint, we saw all the models and stuff getting their hair and makeup done.
Yeah.
I said, we just got to blend in, just keep walking. So the driver, I said, look, you're going to be our security guard. You're going to act like we famous and we got to get in here.
Wow.
So we got in there, we walking through. I told him, like, oh shit, we made it. So we go through there. First person we see, Naomi Campbell. I got my phone.
What?
Hey, Naomi. Remind you, no credentials.
No credentials at all. Wow.
So then we like, this is assigned seating. So we like, we're going to sit all the way at the top and just blend in.
Yeah.
So we got there, sat at the top, pulled my phone out, zoomed in real close like I was head floor seat, you know.
Right.
Instagram gonna judge you. They ain't even taking the fact I'm all the way in Paris.
Right.
Balenciaga fashion show. They just go zoom in and say he at the top.
Wow.
Right.
So when it got time to post, I got a little smart. I said, excuse me. I was going to the bathroom, got to the second floor, took my phone out, scrolled for like a good 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Then went back to my seat of general population. So my first experience at Fashion Week was good. But from that time and being in that room, I was able to meet the people. So when I went back to Fashion Week, I have the credentials that I needed to get in other shows. So I would say that was the most fun experience.
Wow.
The most memorable experience because I ain't had no credentials. And I had a good time.
So it sounds like you took advantage of the moment. You made sure that when you got in the room, you made sure you got contacts because you wanted to make sure your next time was more efficient, more effective.
Yes.
Is that Sign up.
But you know what? The first time was fun though.
Uh-huh.
It was fun. Like,
Yeah.
it was a challenge. It was a thrill.
Yeah.
Right.
How can I get in here? But that wasn't the first time I did that now.
Uh-oh.
I done that before.
Really?
Okay.
Where?
Okay.
First time in LA,
Okay.
BET Awards.
Talk about it. I gotta hear this.
Wait a minute. Talk about it.
BET
Talk
Awards.
Okay.
about it.
So that time, I scoped the building. All you gotta do is look at the building and be like, okay, you know it's gonna have backstairs, da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So I saw a little security guard out there.
Uh-huh.
I said, he ain't making about like $20, $30 an hour. I said, I got $200. Let me and my boy back here. Oh yeah, here you go, you go. Went in there, and the BET Awards, they have assigned seats, but they also have a thing called seat fillers.
Okay.
Okay.
So you have different people who like stand in line for like 3 hours, 4 hours.
Right.
And they just, once it's an empty seat or something, or somebody not show up, they sit in those seats.
Right.
So for that, they were seat fillers. So
Wow.
if I look at a building, I'm getting in there, I'm networking, I'm meeting people I need to meet.
Wow.
So now when I go to any award show,
Mhm.
any fashion weeks, I done did the legwork of meeting the people.
Wow.
So now I can get to where I can get to.
Y'all learn from this.
Yeah.
Networking.
Now, special disclosure, this don't work for everybody.
It don't work for
It don't work for
everybody.
everybody. Let's just make that clear. The special
Stuff
disclosure.
I don't know how to get it what you're into. The key is looking the part,
Yes.
putting that shit on,
Yes.
and getting through them doors.
Yes,
go.
Because
absolutely.
you gotta, in this world,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna give you anything.
No.
And if you want to get into these rooms where you want to go and breed success, you gotta go where the people are at. Because other words, if you don't know somebody, you ain't getting to know.
Bars. Well, speaking of knowing people, and we're gonna switch gears just a little bit. I mean, you have so many big time people who are famous, who are your friends, celebrities. Allen Iverson's mom. The list goes on. Missy Elliott. You got so many people that you're tied into and you've made good relations with. Your best friend, Delisha Gordon. She went through a situation where she experienced a little bit of domestic violence. And I want to show you a few pictures here where that situation kind of got out of hand. And first of all, this is a beautiful picture of her right here. And then we have this picture where she went through a situation where it really was it was not pretty. This is your best friend. This is your sister. I've seen you go to Dubai with her, places all around the country. Talk to us a little bit about how you feel about that situation and your experience with domestic violence and how you deal with that when you talk to the community.
Well, domestic violence is something that's kind of dear to my heart. Growing up in a home where my mother's late ex-husband, rest his soul, was a good man, and she experienced some domestic violence from him. So just witnessing as a kid is just something that you just don't tolerate. You know, you don't put your hand on a lady. I mean, it's just something that you just don't do. You got to learn to walk away. And it's dealing with seeing Delisha go through that. It was definitely heartbreaking. It was sad. It was unfortunate that she had to go through that. She has a beautiful soul, one of the most giving people I ever met.
Yes.
I remember a few years ago, she came back to Newport News, a community that she's not even from, and wanted just to give back.
I remember that. That was so dope.
Yes,
Yeah.
and she picked about 15 families, got everything on their list, went to projects and went Christmas shopping for them.
Wow.
One lady, she did a challenge on Instagram where start your own business. She gave away $10,000.
How much did she give away?
$10,000 to start your own business. So she of all people don't deserve that. She have used her platform to talk to other women. She speaks up all the time about not just physical abuse, but mental abuse as well.
Right.
Because a lot of times ladies go through physical abuse, but mental abuse could be just as detrimental as physical abuse.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
it was heartbreaking for all of her friends, her family, but she's gotten through it.
Yeah.
She's used her platform to advocate for women. If you're going through domestic violence, you know, get help, get out, because it can end up the way hers ended up.
Say that one more time, John. Get what?
Get help. Talk with somebody. Get out.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Get
dope.
out. You don't have to tolerate domestic violence, whether it's mentally or physically.
Yeah.
I think it's dope that when you think about domestic violence, you think about men standing up for women more, because it hadn't always been that way. So when women can receive that support from men, it just speaks volumes.
Yes.
Tell me about your thoughts about men stepping up for women and what that means to a woman going through those situations.
I think it means a lot, and I think a lot of time it's about how you're raised.
Right.
A lot of men are raised by their mom, so and they don't have their father there. If you don't have a role model to teach you how to treat a woman or to just behave, sometimes you at a disadvantage. That's why it's so important for men to volunteer in schools. It's important for men to volunteer in Little League football teams.
That's good, right?
Basketball, coaching, because even though I didn't have a father, I had a very active grandfather and a very active uncle. I had those Little League coaches that were there for me to mentor me, play football for Doris Miller, basketball for Doris Miller. Woo Williams, AAU, was very athletic growing up.
Right. Yeah.
But it's those coaches and men that are in my life that help mold me and just make sure that the right way how to treat a lady.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, speaking of treating a lady, we can never repay our mothers.
Yes.
And for the love and the support that they give us over the years. A few years ago, you gave your mother a Benz.
Yes.
Tell me.
On your birthday.
Yes.
Correct? On your birthday.
Yes.
Ooh, wasn't her birthday, it was your birthday.
It was my birthday.
Wow. Tell us
about
a
that.
little bit about that moment and how you blessed your mother in a very special way.
Well, I stepped out the box and bought myself a truck.
Okay.
I didn't know Range Rover take as much gas as it takes. So I said, well, I would take her, because 3 years before that, I bought her a Lexus.
Okay.
So I said, well, I'll take the Lexus to drive around town and I just get her a new car.
Right.
So I can have two vehicles.
Right.
So I gave her a Mercedes. She was beyond ecstatic. I said, Mom, I'm going to take the Lexus. I need the Lexus to go to Lowe's to get my flowers.
She said, you ain't taking my Lexus.
She said, you ain't taking my Lexus. So my plan went out the window.
Out the window.
She got the Lexus
And the Benz.
And the Benz. But I love my mom. I do anything for her. She's an amazing lady.
Yeah.
Growing up, she would do anything for me and my brother.
Yeah.
She's just a giving lady. Growing up, we probably had over 20 people stay in our 2-bedroom home.
Talk about it.
My mom did ministry at the Newport News jail for 12 years, volunteering.
Yeah.
She did Meals on Wheels, volunteering.
Wow.
And some mornings I would wake up and say, Mom, who's that on the couch? Well, that's Lisa. She didn't have anywhere to go when she got released from jail. I'm like, we got these strangers. But that's the type of mom that I had. Friends sometimes they may have challenges times.
Yeah.
She would let them stay with us, not just for a year or 2 years, sometimes 5 years, 7 years.
Wow.
She always said that this is not our house, this is the Lord's house. And if someone if someone needs help, we're gonna help them. And people knock on our door and she said, you never tell a person, you never deny a man bread or water. That's in the Bible. So our house was a house that's been blessed, family home. I'm actually moving into our family home because it's been vacant. My grandparents been gone now about 2 years.
Okay.
And nobody stayed in the house for 2 years. So everybody had their own home. I have 2 or 3 homes. And it's like, I don't want to stay in a home either because it's too big for me.
Right.
I like simple, because my nerves get bad. I hear something like, I'm the one that have every light on in the house. I'm like, I do not need no 6-bedroom home by myself.
Right.
But I'm like, I'm going to stay there because, when sometimes you're not staying in the home, it's just stuff starts to deteriorate quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Absolutely.
I see it. I help the family out and stay in the home because even though no one's been there for 2 years, we still paying our lights, we still paying the water, we still paying cable, still paying internet, still paying taxes.
Yeah.
So instead of all the money that the family has going, I'm like, we need to just stop. I'll stay there for a little while until we decide what we want to actually do with the family home.
That's dope.
We never would sell it, but so many options there, Airbnb or whatever. But I said, yeah, I'll stay there. So
You're gonna stay there.
That's dope.
6 bedrooms.
It always feels good to be able to give back to your mom. She put so much work into you, blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of times you see situations where the kids come back and they make excuses for what they can't do based on their situations and their humble beginnings. But you took that as a strength and you moved forward and you was able to give back. How did that feel? I mean, I know at one point she was like, you knew, she said to somebody, you knew. How did you get around to put that whole thing together? Was that tough?
Well, no. Growing up, my mom gave me she boosted me up to no end. Like, my self-esteem was so high that it just helped me,
Yeah.
She didn't care it never cared what you do, come from a family, everybody got college degrees, masters, doctorates. I got accepted in college. They said, I don't want that. Not knowing that my grandparents was damn rich, they was gonna pay for the education. I might would have went,
Right.
I don't know why I ain't put 2 and 2 together. Like, when I go shopping every season. They bought me a Benz in high school. College at Virginia State ain't gonna hurt them. But I'm like, I don't want that. So I didn't go. I went to Thomas Nelson for a little while.
Okay.
That wasn't for me. So that's when I said, I'm just gonna go on a worker wheel. But my family always told me, no matter what you do, you're gonna be successful. If you're gonna be a pick up trash, you be the best trash picker there is.
Wow.
Whatever you do, be the best at it. And because of that, I was able to just be the best at it. And I just thank my family for having my back and having that financial support, because everybody's not blessed to be able to just take different chances at life.
True.
Some people have to get it right the first time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't get it right the first time. I remember when I first wanted to be a promoter, this was in 2004.
Okay.
I want to do a step show. I had this great idea. I'm about to do the Greek Fest. It was called Greek Fest 2K4. So I went to me and my mind want to think big.
Yeah.
I went to the Hampton Convention Center.
Yeah.
Went there and met. They had to do this big review if you get approved or not. It took probably 3 or 4 weeks. I'm like, well, I guess we ain't get approved. They sent me an email. Congratulations, you've been approved to do an event at the Convocation Center. So I went out, got sponsors. At that time, it was a lady named Beads by Vanessa that did where girls used to wear the jewel beads.
Yeah,
so, she was booming back then.
Right.
She said, I want to be a sponsor. She gave me $2,000. I'm like, wow, that was the first big sponsorship I got. The Cook brothers gave me a couple thousand.
Dope.
Wow.
So it was just like, at that time,
I was funeral home, right?
Yes. At that time, I was only my second year getting out of high school. So I might be like 19 or 20. So I got all the step teams, and I'm thinking I'm about to make like $100,000. I'm like, grandma make $100,000. It's gonna be big.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't happen. I had the step show. The guys who won with some campers, it was on like 5 of them. They weren't really that good.
Yeah.
The alphas really was who really killed. The crowd went crazy.
They went crazy.
So I'm like, how did they not win? My career at step shows is over. Because they're going to swear that whatever I do is rigged.
Right.
But I ain't had nothing to do with the judges. I tried to get people to zip attorneys, sororities, and anyhow, at the end of the night, I had to pay prize money. $5,000 in prize money.
5,000.
5,000 in prize money.
Out of your pocket.
Wow.
$2,300 in bills that I didn't even know I had from tables, police. I thought it was all in the building.
Right.
Wow.
These steppers, the alphas already mad because they lost. So they want their second place money.
Right.
Yeah.
The Cowboys want their money because they went first place.
Right.
And I ain't had no money.
Woo.
All the money was gone, spent.
Okay.
Wow.
I had to go up them stairs. Grandma, granddaddy, I need $7,200. Granddaddy said, what?
Oh my God.
You need what?
Oh my God.
But they had my back. My grandma and granddaddy, grandma ain't going nowhere without her checkbook. She sat right up in the balcony, wrote the checks, paid them. But I was a man of my word, even though I didn't have it and didn't know how I was going to get it.
Right.
I said I was going to do this. I said I was going to pay this prize money.
Yeah.
So my family was there to help me to keep my name good.
Absolutely.
Your name is all you have in this game, and it's important to try to keep a good name
Absolutely.
and to do the right thing. I remember when I first got on city council, they gave us these credit cards.
Okay.
And when they gave us the credit cards, it was like, use this credit card for official city business only.
Correct.
Okay.
This wasn't my first time being in politics. I had friends that been on city council and other things, and they use their card when you go out to, if we said we're going to Red Lobster, we're talking about business. They use your card.
Right.
No problem.
Yeah.
Once the council became all Black, predominantly, and men, young, the rules changed.
Really?
The rules changed really fast.
Talk about it.
Wow.
So they said, so they did an audit. Well, somebody got fired. Then they did an audit. And then when the audit happened, the reporter called my phone and said, y'all had illegal use of your credit cards. Some said, no, my stuff was just official business only. And when they put it up, mine was all restaurants. And that was from me, because when you're in city council, people want to meet with you all the time.
Yeah.
They want to bring businesses to the city.
Yeah, of course.
And if you're talking business, this is what they say is city business.
City business.
Why can't I use my credit card
Of course.
if I'm talking about city business?
Right.
You know, because you don't get elected just to be in these seats. You want to meet with constituents. And for so long, people wanted to talk with city council members and it wasn't available. Once I got elected, it's like, we got a shoe in the door. We know John. I want to meet with him. So my first year, I was meeting like, you want to meet with me? I'm going to meet with you and make it happen. Because it's not like we have an office where we could come and have meetings. It's like, there's no office for
or
John
conference
Eley.
room, or anything like that.
room.
Right.
We have conference rooms, but it's not like no dedicated offices.
Right.
This is John Eley office.
Gotcha.
So a lot of our meetings are at restaurants or in libraries or public places.
Yeah.
But I like to eat, so I'm going to go to a restaurant to eat. And it's against the law for someone to buy your food, because then it's like, it could be like they trying to bribe you.
Right.
So you learn there's so many different rules. So then the reporter called me, and you know, I'm from downtown. I'm going to get to the bottom of what's going on.
Sure.
Yeah.
He said we used our credit card to have a celebratory dinner. How we, after the election? We ain't had no credit cards after the election. We didn't get them until 2 or 3 months afterwards.
Right.
So how did I use my credit card to celebrate?
Wow.
So all I needed was a little bit of fire for me to get to the bottom of the situation.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm heated now because we did go out after the election, but we went out with the mayor.
Okay.
And he paid for it, and we didn't have no credit cards. So that was some internally stuff talking.
Yeah.
Where they had emotion that somebody had emotion that we don't like these young Black brothers on city council, and we're going to do all we can to bring them down.
Wow. Wow.
That was their goal. And when that happened, it got to me because, like you work so hard to build up name, reputation.
Absolutely.
And the general public don't know all the ins and out of that story. All they know is fraudulent, front page of the paper. You used your credit. Oh, that's how he going on trips. That's how he buying clothes. That's how he doing this. I would say, no, my grandparents.
Doing all this before
I've been doing this before I was on city council.
Yeah.
And my great auntie just died and left me $30,000.
There you go.
I'm about to spin it up. So at that point, it's like, and people to this day are still like, oh, you use a city credit card. Just today, since I've been on city credit, I never used that city credit card after that. I'm like, I'm not going to go down with them trying to defame my character or defame who I am.
Put dirt on your name.
Yeah, it was hard. My blood pressure went up so high when they thought I have a stroke. Because I'm a team player. I don't like working in situations where I got to feel like I got to watch my back. Because if we're on the same team, I don't care if you are wrong, I'm going to have your back.
Absolutely.
And when I came from the school board, that's how it was.
Yeah.
We all had each other back. We did what was right. And that was just a really hard time, a dark space in my life, because it was like, people going to think that I'm just a crook. And that's just not what it is.
Yeah.
You could see clearly I was meeting with people, restaurants, this is not what it is. So we got through that. We have an amazing city manager. We have an amazing team, amazing mayor, amazing council. And it's now at the point where it's like, yes, I can't wait to go to city council meeting. Even last week, Ms. Iverson gave us tickets to the Lakers and the
76.
76
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
And it was on a Tuesday.
Nice.
That city council night, I did not go.
Wow. Wow.
Because what we're doing in this city, how we moving along, how we getting things accomplished, I felt like I can't go and have fun when it's work to be done in Newport News.
Well, sounds like you got your priorities in order.
Yeah.
So when you think about the heavy responsibility you had, you know, there's a lot of good things to what you do, and we'll get to that in a minute. But recently, you had a chance to celebrate with the NFL Super Bowl champion Anthony Bethea.
Yes.
He was awarded the key to the city of Newport News.
Yes.
Talk to us about that moment, what that meant to you and Newport News.
Well, we was all surprised at city council. We didn't know what was happening. Our mayor just, he had these ideas and he just do it.
He just do it.
He just make things happen.
Wow.
I was excited. Bethea puts a lot into this city.
Yeah.
He's investing in the city. And the biggest thing about Mr. Bethea, he really cares. He got the Safe Haven Center in Denby.
Right.
He built the basketball court at Denby Community Center. He's always doing food drives. Just things for the community. He's just invested. He has a restaurant, District 41. He's just always find ways and creative ways to want to give back to Newport News. And that's what it's about. Being successful, coming back to your hometown, giving back and making a difference for the city that you grew up in.
Absolutely.
What's really dope is, and this is exclusive information, and I just want to give it up to 80 or 80,000 because a lot of people didn't know the situation that John went through, and now he's able to clear it up right here on this platform. A lot of people come out of 757. We got Michael Vick, who just got promoted to the coach of Norfolk State. We got the one and only Bubba Chuck, my good friend Allen Iverson. Recently, last year, and this is what I love about John. He stays so humble because he's responsible for so much that goes on that a lot of people really don't know about. But Allen Iverson got a street named after him.
Yes.
And you were largely responsible for that, dog.
Yes, it was. It was a conversation.
How'd you feel about that?
I feel good. I feel good about it. Like,
talk about it.
Allen Iverson, wait, I made that happen. But it just wasn't me. It was a team,
Okay.
Our city council's like, you know what? It's the time. John, you want to do it? Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
We made it happen. Got the community behind it.
Yeah.
And just, it feels really good to see it. Mr. Iverson gave a lot. A lot of people don't know this is he gave $100,000 to Newport News to buy guns back off the street. He built the new gym inside of the Boys and Girls Club.
Wow.
He gives countless every year, still to this day since he's been to NBA, to Boys and Girls Clubs, to different community organizations, to the children of Newport News and Hampton. Did a gym for Bethel High School. He's just always giving, and Iverson's one of those guys. He's not about let me show you. He just like to do it.
Yeah.
Stroke a check, it's done.
Yeah.
I'm giving from my heart, and how can I make a difference in the community?
Wow.
Just this past Christmas, he went to Walmart, and it wasn't no limit on what we could get the kids for Christmas. He wanted to make sure
he didn't give you no cap.
It was no cap. It was no cap.
That's a flex.
Wow.
Then he went to the Boys and Girls Club and got stuff from those children's lists as well. So he's always giving. That's the good thing with him, Michael Vick.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys from our community always giving. Worked with Michael Vick on a couple projects. And Mike is just one of the most humblest guys I know. His heart is so pure. He's just, I just sat on the phone and just cried the other day, talk with him just about how he just put the community first and himself last.
Right.
Mike took a big pay cut coming from Fox to
be coach of Norfolk State. Yeah.
Mike wanted his legacy to be I want to come back to change the community that I grew up on. I want to give these guys an opportunity that Mike didn't have.
Right.
Mike had a legacy of many things. But I think, and I said, Mike, your best story is going to be the story that you're living in right now.
Right now.
Going over to Norfolk State, just over there last week, and seeing those guys just motivated to want to just be and live up to the expectation of Michael Vick. But Mike just don't want them to be good on the field. He's making sure they're being good off the field.
Off the field.
He is building men.
Come on now.
He's building student athletes. He's building an empire where kids from all over the United States who never would have went to Norfolk State University is now tearing the doors down and say, I'm going to Norfolk State. I'm going to work with Michael Vick. I'm going to work with Elton Brown. He put together like Roy Reynolds. It's just the list could go on forever with the team that he put on, and those guys and those coaches. There's just the brotherhood they have. I learned a new word they call hunt. So I guess to be like they're going to like we're going to hunt the predator or it's dope, but it's hunt over there. So if you hear them say hunt, they mean it's serious business. That's what I take away from it anyway. But it's just exciting to see so many guys from this community who made it is now coming back to do great things. Even work with my friend in Portsmouth, Aaron Carter, with Missy Elliott, how Missy Elliott just comes and just gives and she doesn't take credit for it. Like last Christmas, she spent over $100,000 on kids' Christmas, paying off rents that people were behind. It's like, and she don't want no press.
She don't want no press.
Missy just does it out of the goodness of her heart. She loves Portsmouth. She loves that community. And it's like, wow, I'd be glad when God bless me where I could be at the point where I can give at that level and give back. So we have some strong people in this community who are giving unconditionally. God has blessed them and has been put in their heart, how can I give and not get the credit for it? That's the biggest part. A lot of time we give, but we want to, okay, how many news cameras going to be there? Is it on social media? Does this person know? Does that person know? But those 4 individuals that I know alone, they don't care about none of that. They just want to just give, make a difference in the community, and help this next generation be successful.
John, real quick, you touched on something earlier, and then it seems like it's a pattern. So, you know, it seems like African Americans, when they do something, or when they achieve a level of success like yourself, it seems like the press or people in general want to focus on the bad. So it seems like even though what you've done tremendously in our community and for people in general, they wanted to focus on the fraudulent credit card. Allen Iverson, they want to focus on practice. Michael Vick, they want to focus on the dog situation. But yet, we got a president who has over 34 felonies. Is it harder for us as African Americans?
Absolutely, it's harder. You know, they're going to tear you down no matter what you do. And I've just gotten to the point at 40 where I just don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what they say, because whatever you do, they're going to complain. They're going to say what you doing, what you ain't going to do. And I realized you got to just live your life for John. You got to do what makes you happy. They're going to talk. They're going to call you every name in the book. Oh, he's a faggot. He's a party promoter. He's this. He's that. Who cares? I'm successful. I'm giving back to this community. I love my community. I love what I'm doing. So it took a long time to get to this point, but I'm at the point now where I'm just celebrating life. I'm celebrating being happy. And I'm celebrating who I am. You know, I'm not here to try to live for no one else or to care what somebody else. Like, even some trips like, well, I can't post that because they're going to think that I'm living too high. Or I can't try that because they're going to think I'm doing too much. Or I can't post that because they're going to say this. My last election, a group of Karens put together a collage of all my party flyers. Oh, he's a party promoter. Well, these parties that I'm throwing is helping pay Keisha Rent, who might be getting evicted. We got Marcus, who got a Little League basketball team over there who don't have uniforms. You got Keisha over here whose water about to get cut off. I'm not most politicians have wealthy friends that's pouring into their campaigns. I don't have nobody pouring into my campaigns. I'm from downtown Newport News, and I got to rate now. Politics is expensive. When you go to these events, you got to get haircuts, you got to get suits, you got to drive gas. It's a lot of stuff to come and play, and we only get a $25,000 stipend a year that only add up to about $1,200 a month. That ain't no money.
No, at all.
By the time they take taxes out and all other stuff.
Man.
So you have to raise money. So these parties I'm doing, it's a whole nother count. So when stuff come up in the community, I'm able to do it. When I'm doing these community feeds, I'm able to do it. When I'm doing it back to school events, I'm able to do it.
Absolutely.
Man.
Well, John, listen, you keep doing what you're doing. And
Yes,
this is what
brother.
I've told people for years. People treat you according to how they feel about themselves.
Yes.
So when somebody's going through something and they don't have the life that they want to live, or they're sitting back waiting for success to come to them, they're going to point out any and everything that you do wrong, when it's really they're wearing their emotions on their sleeve.
And I don't know why they pay so much attention to me. I don't be caring what nobody is doing. All I want to do is wake up, say my prayers, call and check on my mom, my aunt, my brother.
Yeah.
Look at a little CNN news. Check my emails.
Yeah.
See how can I be a better person? How can I be better than I was the day before?
Wow.
I don't care what nobody is doing.
I love it.
I don't care what nobody who's doing a party, who's doing, because most of my friends are successful. A lot of my friends are millionaires. They wake up and encourage each other, talk about the stock market,
Right.
talk about getting money. I want the people around me to make money.
Right.
I want everybody to be rich, because when they got money, they don't gotta ask me for no cash out request. Or ask me to Apple Pay or Zelle. So everybody on my team, I try to put them in a position so they can make more money, so they can be successful.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be the only successful one.
Absolutely.
Because if we got to tell, I want everybody to chip in on this section. I don't want to be the only one paying for it. So I encourage my friends to do better, try to put them in better situations. But we are the worst enemy, us, is our own culture.
Own culture.
Black folks.
Absolutely.
I get more support from the white folks, to be honest with
Isn't
you.
that something?
I do.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, I do. They're not going, oh, it's okay, John. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good job. Great work, John. How was the party last night, John? It's not, oh, he throwing parties and da-da-da. How you throwing a party on city council? Because when I'm throwing the parties, I'm also talking to citizens. A lot of things I knew we needed free lunches, because I was at the Alley nightclub and the lady said, well, I'm trying to pay lunch. I'm trying to do this. Advocating for free lunches.
Yeah.
Sports. All sports in Newport News is free now.
Right.
Parents don't have to pay that.
Come on now, John.
I only know that because I'm out in the public.
Wow.
So you can help a council person that's not connected. I love to do that. I don't be wanting to go out because people worry me to death. Can I get a drink? Because they think you're rich.
Yeah.
But when you out having a balanced lifestyle, you're able, to know what the citizens want,
Right.
of all categories.
Yeah.
I could just hang out at the country club, but I'm just going to know what that level of people with that economic income want.
Right.
But I want to know what the people downtown want. I want to know what people in the hood want. I want to know what all the citizens, because I'm not a council person that just want to serve one income level, one class of people. I want to serve everybody.
All the people.
Yeah, so I love what I do. It's definitely one of the best things I ever could have done in life. Being on city council and work with the nonprofit I have. I'm one of the co-founders. My other partner is Dr. Ashley Kilgore.
Correct.
She was actually the superintendent for Newport News Public Schools.
Yeah.
And she was on the State Board of Education for Virginia. And when she said that there's funding for a program called for get people to get certifications and it's free, she said, we have to do something about it. I'm like, these people downtown, they just want their public housing and their food stamps. They ain't trying to do too much. They ain't trying to make no money.
Right.
That's how I thought, because I'm from down there.
Right.
Yeah.
I was totally wrong. Over these last 4 years is to open my eyes to so much. People just need an opportunity. They need a chance, and they need those barriers removed. So we make it so those barriers are removed. We help them. We walk them through each step of bettering their life, whether it's getting your degree and a certification, whether it's helping you with your first-time home buyers program, help you open up a bank account, because so many people that we deal with, or even get your driver's license. A lot of those basic things that we take for granted, like it's easy, sometimes it's barriers for other people. So those two things I feel like I'm living, and with God's plan now, I never really knew what my passion was. I knew it was, passion is my hair, but I knew that wasn't all that God had planned for me. So I think now it's kind of like, I have my lane. I'm in my lane. I'm minding my business, and I'm helping people be better people.
So
Wow.
you're deeply connected to the community. And for those who don't know, and correct me if I'm wrong, John, I think you're speaking about the What Next program that you've been working. Is that
Yes.
okay? So when you think about that program, tell us why that's so near and dear to your heart.
It's giving people opportunities. Can you imagine you at the alley and someone comes up to you with their certificate and says, John, I ain't even selling drugs no more, bro. I'm driving trucks at CDL.
Oh man.
John, that same guy 6 months later, John, I just bought a house, $250,000.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
One young lady, John, I want to go get my phlebotomy license. Mr. Eley, now I'm in school for my LPN. John, I graduated from LPN. I'm in school for RN now.
Wow.
So those are the stories that I hear all the time in the club from people who had opportunities through the program that we have,
Right.
and change and transform communities.
Wow. Wow.
I want to touch on one thing, really quick. You helped Kamala Harris
Yes.
with her campaign. You did a lot of groundwork around that.
Yes.
And that was a really historic moment. Tell me about what you learned most about that experience.
It was fun. It was interesting. A lot of people were uneducated about the voting process, and people was uneducated about voting. But I think as it came to an end, people were more educated and more willing to vote. My push wasn't who you voted for. I just wanted you to exercise your right to vote for other candidate aligned best for your vision and your goals.
There you go.
Wow. Wow.
That's beautiful.
We have a lot of and we're getting ready to wrap up because we're getting close to the end. But we've had a lot of things going on especially in Newport News as far as homicide. In fact, a person that's very, very, very dear, close to you, one of your relatives, was killed a few years back. With the rate of homicide in Newport News decreased almost 40%, what is being done on a local level to minimize violent crimes in Newport News right now?
What we're doing, we're targeting a lot of grassroots organizations. We're investing in technology. Right now, Newport News, our crime overall is down 52%.
Wow.
Round of applause for that.
Wow. Yes.
It's down 52%.
That's dope.
Our Chief Drew, the rest of the chiefs, the community, we're letting the community know that Newport News is not going to tolerate it. One, we're going to invest in technology. We got over 100 cameras in our city. We just added more cameras in high crime areas.
Yes.
We have a call center where if you do something in our city, we can pinpoint where it's happening at.
Okay.
We can dispatch the police there. Is not as well just dispatch police. We're now going to dispatch drones. So we're
Wait, say that again, John?
We would dispatch drones.
Wow.
So our city council takes safety very important. We're putting a lot of money in technology, and just letting people, that's how we solve this. You may do a crime in Newport News, but we're going to catch you. We're going to catch you. So you might want to think twice because we don't care about your friend coming to a witness. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Because we have technology and drones and a lot of other stuff I can't speak on that's starting in 2025 in Newport News. We even have AI capability cameras that's coming to the city. Some of the first
Wow.
in the state of Virginia.
Wow.
Do I see President
No.
in the future here?
No.
Never say never, John.
But we don't play.
Okay.
I don't play. Our council don't play. Our city manager don't play.
Well, one last question I have for you. President Trump announced tariffs on Mexico, China, and Canada. The Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, he's already talked about a forceful reaction if this came to fruition. What are your thoughts about the decisions that he's making when it comes to that? Also the ICE raids and all the things that he's put in place already within his first term.
I think President Trump is our president now. He's aligning himself with a team of folks that he feels that could help him
Mhm.
carrying out his mission. I just want America just to be a safe place.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want America to be a place where we can thrive, be successful, have opportunities, raise our families. I'm just gonna have to just see how it unfold and see how it comes to part.
There you go.
I just don't have an opinion one way or another. The biggest part I hate about is the fear. I think it's a way how you do things.
Right.
I think some of the stuff that he's doing, some of the stuff is needed.
Mhm.
Some of the stuff is the delivery on how it's being done. I don't like that people are kids are afraid to go to school now that may be from Mexico or other countries.
Right.
Parents are saying, I'm not sending my child to school anymore because
Right.
we're scared they might get deported back to a country.
Gotcha.
So I think it should have been a better process of how we're doing this. I think the process that we're doing it now is not the American way to get citizens out of our country.
But there you have it.
All right. Well, before we go, we always want to play a little game. So we're gonna do where were you when this happened? Okay. So I'm gonna ask you 5 things. Where were you?
Next time, I'm gonna have them send me the questions for the podcast. I don't know what I was thinking.
Where were you when the first Black president got elected, Barack Obama? Where were you?
I don't know.
Globetrotting.
I don't know where I was at. Probably somewhere with Gayleen and Bobby Scott watching it somewhere, I'm sure.
There you go.
Okay.
I don't know what hotel, wherever the watch party was at, I'm sure that's where I was at.
Okay.
Where were you when Tupac and Biggie got killed?
I was probably like 8 or 9. I don't know. I'm only 40. That probably not. I don't know.
Are you a hip hop fan?
I'm a Beyonce fan.
You're a Beyonce fan. You're a Beyonce fan. Okay.
I'm a Beyonce, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, Teddy Swims, and Miley Cyrus.
Okay.
There you go. My
So
mom,
you
she
got-
loves Miley Cyrus.
I like Miley Cyrus.
You got all the genres there. Okay.
Yeah, my music selection, like when I'm on a plane, I be listening to the Lion King soundtrack. I be listening to the Greatest Showman soundtrack.
There you go.
I let my mind just go and wander. My playlist be crazy.
Wow.
And every time I play gospel on a plane, turbulence come. Something like, devil, get back.
Get back. Step back.
Step back.
Wow. Okay. Where were you when you heard about the fires in Los Angeles?
At home on Instagram.
Wow. How'd you feel about it?
It's just devastating. One of my close friends, Delicia, she has her mansion is kind of like right there where she had to evacuate.
She close to the Palisades?
Yeah, no, she's close to Hollywood Hills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
She actually had to relocate.
Wow.
She had to relocate.
Wow.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Where were you when you found out? And I want to take a little credit because I helped your campaign a little bit. But where were you when you found out? And I know I want you to tell the people, where were we when you found out you got elected city councilman? How'd you feel?
I felt great. But where was I? I forgot. Was it
You was at the Marriott.
Oh, the Marriott.
We was all in the lobby.
Yes, the Marriott.
We was all in the lobby.
The Marriott.
I remember.
I used to go to the Doshika. My grandparents were alive. That was like the watch party. I remember when I lost the first time I ran for city council.
Right.
I was at the Doshika downstairs when those results coming in, just crying outside. My dad at the time was still alive. He said, "Boy, you better wipe them tears and you better go back upstairs and stand proud for your guests and get them and try again next time."
Wow.
That next time, when I ran that time, I got a little big headed because I just won the school bus. I'm like, I got this. But that next time, me and my mom, we knocked on doors like our lives depended on it.
Wow. That's
And then I won
So-
65% of the vote. So it taught me a lesson. No matter who you are, what you've done, you always got to continue to put work in for something that you want.
Amen to that. Well, we're extremely proud of you. Here
Thank you so much.
88,000. Absolutely.
Moses, before we end, we always want to end it with the last final response and the final question. Moses, take it away.
So John, the name of our podcast is 80 or 80,000. So, question I have for you: are you living for 80 years on Earth, or are you trying to take your legacy and impact well beyond 80,000 years?
Well beyond 80,000 years. I want my community to be proud of me.
Wow.
I want my family to continue to be proud of me. And I just want to make this city a better place, not for me, but for all the citizens of Newport News. This is my city. I love the city. Great things are happening in the city. We have an amazing team. We just had Rob Coleman. He was on City Council.
Mhm.
He just got elected. Pat Woodbury, she retired. She was a great friend of mine. It's the energy is just unstoppable. All the new projects we have going up, all the developers that are coming back to Newport News. We're starting a new program where if you want to build in Newport News, it used to take you forever to get your permits. We're changing that. 2 to 3 week time frame,
Wow.
you will have your permit. We let businesses know we are open for business in Newport News. We want to see cranes in the sky. We're working on getting a cheesecake factory. We're working on getting
now.
Oh, we ain't playing no games.
Come on, Jay.
let's
We
do
not
it.
playing no games. We're working on getting a new state-of-the-art,
Wow.
top of the line
Wow.
sports complex center,
Wow. Come on.
entertainment venue.
Come on now.
Come on.
now.
We got a fish market
Exclusive.
coming too.
Exclusive.
80,000.
80,000.
We got so many new projects. We're working on a music festival. So many great things coming to Newport News, and we're going to make our waterfronts vibrant.
Awesome.
Wow.
These other city-states, they got a vibrant waterfront. We're working on talk with hotels / condominiums, with rooftop pools and bars.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
We're going to make Newport News a place where you don't want to just come and buy. You want to come live here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there you have it.
80,000 years from now, John. 80,000 after you've long gone. Finish this statement.
They're going to say, he did the damn thing.
Wow.
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 There you go.
Well, that's it. We want to thank y'all
88,000.
so much. Let's give it up for City Councilman JohnEley in the building.
Give it up to y'all. Thank y'all for having me. This is
Before we
amazing.
go, we do want to send our prayers out to the people who are involved in the plane crash in Philadelphia. We do want to send our prayers out to the people that were involved in the plane crash in DC.
Yes.
And we just want to send our prayers out to the world.
Absolutely.
And know that we are thinking about you and our hearts are for you. And just know that no matter what, if God be for you, then who can be against you?
Amen.
There you
Absolutely
go.
no one.
There you have
Thank
it.
y'all so much.